Well, everyone, it would appear that New York City is about to elect their first ever communist Muslim. Yes, you heard me correctly. I have not stopped seeing countless videos of Zoran Mandani. It would appear that lots of people have just given up and they've gone, well, New York City is doomed. That's the way the polls are swaying at the moment. It seems like Cuomo is not going to do so well. And you know what? It is New York City's own fault if they decide to elect Zoran Mandani as the first ever communist mayor. Wow. And this is the same city that had the 9/11 terrorist attacks from Muslims. So it only makes sense, right, that I don't know how many years after 9/11 that they decide to elect their first ever Muslim mayor to run the damn city. How about that? And you have Bernie Sanders on stage supporting Zoran Mandani. Same with the dingbat AOC. We already knew that she's crazy. But Bernie Sanders, my goodness me, like, have times certainly changed when the level of idiocy has increased to the point where I can't even make sense of it. Like, how do these people, like, sleep at night, first and foremost? Are they that deranged? I mean, we know that Zoran Mandani is putting on an act that he lies to the skin of his teeth. I mean, saying that his aunt couldn't wear hijab after 9/11 and she was seen as like less than and whatever else. Like she had to fear for her life or whatever, wherever it was. Turns out she wasn't even there. Turns out she didn't even have to wear, like she wasn't even wearing a hijab. Man, the guy just sends all the wrong signals. But nevertheless, my friends, I will say one thing, and that is dingbats always move with emotion. Man, if I can just start like crying and tearing up right now to show you my sense of passion and sense of worth. Come on, guys. I need you to follow me. My aunt, she faced some very, very harsh things after 9/11, guys. And it would be my dream to run this city into the ground, no less, but it would be my dream to run this city. I mean, goodness me, what in the world is New York City thinking? But again, it's their own damn fault. I don't know if Trump's going to allow it to occur, but if Trump doesn't allow it to occur, then Trump's going to be in a world of hurt. I don't think we'll hear the end of it, believe it or not. But seriously, the best candidate they've got is Cuomo, that doesn't have a very good track record anyway. And yet, Zoran Mandani, and all they've got is if anyone says the truth about Zoran, it's you're racist. Seriously, if that's the best you've got, you're racist. God help us all. These people are crazy, but evil geniuses. They have appealed to a wide demographic and a wide base. I'll give them that. And most people that live in New York City happen to be deranged Democrats. But you have Jews and Muslims alike apparently voting for this guy. So it doesn't matter if this is like a case study in of itself, guys, to show you all that it doesn't matter if you are actually a communist, people will still follow you and celebrate you. They will still try and get you elected, even if you are a communist. How about that? In a democracy, you can still elect a communist. But after you elect a communist, you're no longer a democracy, are you? So good luck with that, New York. I wish you all the best. But in saying that, it would appear that in Minnesota, same deal, a Muslim mayor. It appears that Muslims are taking over America, Australia, and the UK, or just like the West in general. Like, let's come to Christian countries and let's take over, guys. Let's institute Sharia. Now, I want to show you this video that I saw from David Wood. David Wood is a brilliant YouTuber, and he's an apologist. I love his content. Very smart man. And he also had that hilarious video of the Prophet Muhammad and the men of Al-Zut. Hilarious. These men rode the Prophet Muhammad all night long. Lionel Richie's brilliant song. It's never going to sound the same anymore. But anyway, David Wood has been warning us and exposing the fact that Muslims are taking over for years. No one's listened to him. No one's listened until, well, now, but it's too late. The fox is already in the hen house and they're already starting to take over and ravage. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? What can we do? Nothing. Have a watch of this. This is in Dearborn, Michigan. He exposes that Christians aren't allowed to distribute any material to Muslims, but Muslims are allowed to distribute any material to whoever the hell they want. Because under Sharia law, non-Muslims are not allowed to proclaim their beliefs to Muslims, and Muslims are not allowed to leave Islam. Have a watch.
I told the entire world about this 15, 16 years ago. What we were exposing was that they didn't want Christians evangelizing Muslims or handing out tracts or anything, right? But they couldn't just make a rule saying Christians aren't allowed to distribute materials. So they just made a rule and they said no one's allowed to hand out materials, but then they only enforced it on Christians.
All right, David Wood with my friends Paul and Antonio here. We're not actually going to go into the festival right now because we know automatically they're going to lock us up no matter what we do. They'll lie about us. It's just the way of life here in Dearborn if you're a Christian. So we brought a case of copies of the Gospel of John in English and Arabic. We're going to try standing outside of the festival and handing some of them out. I suspect they're going to stop us even then, but we'll see. We hope that there's no problems. Look at this. They weren't here 3 minutes. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, sir.
I'm going to have you turn off the camera.
Okay.
Okay, and you're going to have to walk with me, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead and hand me the camera.
So,
I appreciate it. I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. Okay, you're going to have to come out.
all right, as you just saw, two of my friends walked over to the Arab Festival, outside of the Arab Festival, and tried to distribute copies of the Gospel of John in English and Arabic, and they were stopped immediately outside the festival. You didn't see what happened afterwards, but they took us to the security booth, they photographed us, they took our IDs, got the information, took our camera, his cell phone for a little while. They let us go and just explain the rules to us. But what the rule is, it seems, is not that you can't distribute copies of the Gospel of John inside the festival. It also applies outside the festival. They told us we would have to go at least 5 blocks away if we wanted to distribute anything. So this is getting very interesting, Dearborn. Let's look at some of the places where you are not free to hand out information on a public sidewalk here in Dearborn.
Hi, I'm on the corner of Kingsley and Warren, and I just want to say that I will be arrested in Dearborn, USA, on the corner of Kingsley and Warren if I hand this out.
I'm on the corner of Warren and Eminem or something like that. I'm a former Muslim, and I am not free to give a gospel of Jesus Christ here in Dearborn.
Hey, I'm here on the corner of Warren and Frida in Dearborn, Michigan, United States. And if I were to take this Gospel of Jesus Christ by St. John, and hand it out to anyone on the street, I will be put in jail again.
Well, now I'm about 1 trillion miles away from the Arab Festival on the corner of Warren and Wyoming. And if I walk a little bit past this intersection, I will finally have the freedom here on a public street in the United States of America to hand out a copy of the gospel. That's where I have to go. So I just hope that Americans will start paying attention to what's going on here in Dearborn. Name me any city in the United States where I could not stand on a public street outside the festival where I could not hand out information about my beliefs. You won't find one. But hope you pay attention to what's going on in America, because something's not right here.
They're doing these workarounds, which were, all for they're implementing Sharia in a way that they could pass it off as they're not implementing Sharia. Now people are all of a sudden, hey, look, they got the prayer blasting over the call to prayer blasting over the loudspeaker. What's going on here? Is something going on in Dearborn? How come I can keep warning everyone 15, 16, 17 years ahead of time exactly what's going to happen? And then everyone's shocked when it happens. I'm not shocked. I'm shocked that it's taking this long for people to pay attention.
Dearborn, Michigan is going to be most likely the next stop. That's going to be the next stop. And it won't just be me. It'll be the whole crew. David Wood, hopefully IP. IP's always really busy, but going to try to get IP to come. Maybe AP as well. Maybe John McCrae. We're going to get some folks vocab. We're going to come out there. How about naming it the Dearborn Again Tour? Hey, y'all nice with it with these names, man. I ain't going to hold you, man. Cook on, brother. God bless. I like that. The Dearborn Again Tour. Guys, like I said before, we don't have official dates, but we are planning to make a Dearborn Again tour, a Dearborn trip. We're going to bring the whole crew out there. We're going to spread the gospel, preach to the Muslims, preach to the non-believers.
Keep in mind, my friends, this was years ago in Dearborn, Michigan. So if you can imagine this is years ago, what does it look like now? I guarantee you it's a hell of a lot worse now than what it looked like in the video back then. And they were getting taken into custody for not even distributing anything. David didn't distribute a thing. But his camera was confiscated and he was taken into custody. For what? For what exactly? And people say that this is the religion of peace, Islam. Taking Christians into custody in a democratic society. How about that? Does that seem like a healthy, functioning society to you, or does that seem like that Sharia has taken over? It appears to me that Sharia has certainly taken over in Dearborn, Michigan, and it's soon going to happen in, you guessed where, New York City. Oh, but the Muslims will claim Islamophobia, a nonsensical term, completely and utterly made up, just like transphobia was, just like homophobia. All these terms made up with actually no significant basis in any kind of logic or reason whatsoever. It's just because my emotion got hurt. What is your emotion that got hurt? Some of you may be wondering. Oh, the emotion to be whatever religion I want, and the fact that you are a weak, spineless dingbat. Grow the hell up. Yeah, grow the hell up. I said it. There's so many people that are so weak and spineless. It's quite concerning, but credit to David Wood, man. He was warning people about this long ago. And, well, no one was really taking heed until now, until you had New York City is about to elect their first ever communist mayor that's a Muslim. Society's doomed, man. Doomed. Coming to a city in a town near you. Mark my words. Anyway, that's enough from me. You guys take care. Oh, before I end, it's not just the fact that Zoran Mandani is a communist and a Muslim. It's his policies. Maybe you should check them out. Be blessed, everyone. See you all in the next video.